Hello everyone, we'll be back in chapter 18, this will be part 3. Cults. I said it 2,000 years ago, and it has come to pass. I believe that there would be many cults established in my name. May I ask you this, is that not the case? How many different doctrines do we have just, or I should say religions, just in Christianity, just in itself? So many I can't count anymore. But only for the purpose that man can be enslaved in his spirit, thereby giving the cults great power over the people and the land. And over your money. Gotcha. Therefore I tell you that no cult is justified unless it solely recognizes the creation as the highest. Let me ask you, how many is out there that does that? You might find one or two out there somewhere in the United States, but I doubt it. But keep that in mind. Therefore, in all the years, there would be no cult which preached truth, knowledge, and wisdom. But I further stated, this will happen in 2 times 1,000 years, 2,000 years, when the time comes that my teachings will be preached anew, without being falsified. And that's what you're hearing right now in these books. And, you can believe what you want to believe. At the end of the day, you have that free will choice to either believe this. To me, there's so many coincidences in this, but I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know about you. But just like the flying machines, all this other stuff you keep seeing in this, and that the stuff we have nowadays, how many coincidences do you got to see in this before you would believe something? And if you see it with your own eyes, would you believe it? I foretold that until this time, there would be so many false cults that they could not be counted. Further, they would be founded on the blood of men, and on hatred one against another. Greed and power. How many wars have been fought over Christ? Really think about that. Even in modern times, really. Over your beliefs. Who's really doing that? He never asked that of you. But as they are established, they shall be destroyed again. The truth shall triumph. There is no untruth, lie, that shall not be denounced. And there is nothing hidden that shall not become evident. I don't care what church you're in, you're going to fall at the end of this. I don't care who you are, where you're at, whatever you're going to call your church, whatever you're going to label yourself. At the end of the day, if you're not teaching this truth, you're going to fall at the end of this. So, you rather believe it now, or you'll believe it later. We'll see which one it is. Men shall recognize what is in front of his face, and what is hidden from him will reveal itself to him, when he searches for truth and the explanation of wisdom. But truth lies deeply in the laws of the creation. And there men shall seek it and find it. But he who seeks shall not stop seeking until he finds. And when he finds, he shall be deeply shaken and astonished. But then he will rule over the universe. For that man shall recognize that the kingdom is within himself and outside of himself. Both. I've already said this once in other videos. When you're told, even in your book, to seek truth and find, why did you stop? You're supposed to look through every scripture, turn every rock open, turn it over, see what's underneath it. Every scroll, every portion you can find, until you find truth. And I looked until I found this and believed it. But at first, Spirit didn't want to. And at first, a lot of people don't want to, or something that think is foolish. Well, you're open to that opinion. Go ahead. Nature, harmony, man, and disharmony. Nature equals harmony, man equals disharmony. Man shall look up to the stars, for there rules majestic peace and sublimity, an unchangeable timeless order. There takes place the infinite change through days and months and years, running into centuries, millennia, and millions of years. Man may look down to earth also, for there too is creative activity and timeless becoming. Being and passing toward constantly new creating. Where nature is left to its own devices, there rules greatness, dignity, and beauty, all in beauteous harmony. I'd like to make a point in that. At the end of the day, if all mankind was just wiped off the planet, nature would be fine. Honestly, it would be thriving a whole lot better than it is right now. We're the ones that messed with it. We're the ones that put disharmony in this world. It'd be probably better off without us here, if you really think about it. We're the ones taking from it and destroying it. I like to imagine like this. We take all these elements or minerals out of the earth, grab it, place it somewhere else, just like the oils and all these rich, wonderful, precious stones and everything else we do. It's like taking your toe, putting it on top of your hand, taking your ear, putting it on your toe, trying to connect it. It creates disharmony in the body, and it doesn't work. You're doing that to this creature, our Mother Earth, and it is a live being. Man may look down to earth also, for there too is creative activity and timeless becoming, being and passing toward constantly new creating. Where nature is left to its own devices, there rules greatness, dignity, and beauty, all in beautiful harmony. However, where traces of human order are active, there smallness, lack of dignity, and lack of beauty testify to disharmony. But man who, with swollen chest, calls himself the crown of the creation, does not recognize creation, and makes people equal to it. This man who tamed the fire and thinks to rule the earth will not go so very far. He will learn to contain the water and to run about in the air. But during that process, he will forget to recognize the creation above him and its laws. And thus, he will forget to seek the truth and the wisdom. He will also forget to live peacefully as a man among men. It's just like his creation out there was already beautiful before we tampered with it. It was perfect. His kingdom here was perfect. We took it and made a disgrace of it, and made disharmony on this planet. We did it to it, and we have to fix it. When he thinks he has power in his hands, he uses power to enslave and shed blood, just like we do with our guns and these power machines we have. Just like when we start flying above the skies. Think what we did. We think we're so much better than all the creations below us. We did it to ourselves. We lost sight of the one that did it all for us and who made those materials for us. Who made those metals. Well, he may have took them and tampered with them, but he made them. Or somewhere in Isaiah, talking about the man who go over the fire. You should look at that. It's pretty interesting. It goes well with this. He will speak of honor and freedom and of knowledge. But in reality, it is only hypocrisy, force, and false teachings. Just like our United States. This goes well with it. Thus, man will lose his face in the future, and wear an evil and false mask for appearance sake. And man will develop into beast, and spend their earthly days in ignorance. Man's aim and thinking is geared only toward acquisition and power. And something that I came to terms with a while back is most of us have what's considered a beast's breath. We think, or a physical breath, instead of a spiritual breath inside of you. If you don't have a spiritual breath, what do you have? You're no different than a beast. They have the same exact breath you have. The only thing that makes you different is your spirit, that breath. That's the only thing that sets you aside. If you don't have that, you're no different than a beast in its image. Just something to keep in mind. With his mind, man will classify the things of this world to make them serve him, irrespective of the fact that by doing so, he destroys the laws of nature manyfold. He will no longer believe in the timeless truths which are based upon the laws of nature. In his self-deception, human sciences will mean more to him than all the values of the laws of nature and the creation. Has it not already become so with our sciences, the way we believe it? I mean, as long as it goes by science, as long as it goes by laws, you're okay, right? Man's laws, that is. In his confusion, man will believe in this miserable concept of life, which is produced by the false teachings of the cults, and determined by human laws and changes in structures of power in various countries. I don't care what religion you're a cult. Because man does not gain a knowledge of himself, from the creative point of view, he will want to force his life with external means. He would elude his fellow men in the whole world with false means. Where there's some trust left, he will change it into distrust and untruths. He will get further and farther away from the truth, to the true life. I like to think of a house. Why do you surround yourself with those things? You're supposed to build your actual house, those things inside of it to get peace and comfort. We put those things around you for your comfort, for, peace of mind, whatever it may be, your TV on the screen, got your pictures on the wall, remind you of family. But that's just distractions from the reality of things. That's a placeholder for something that you're missing. And it's your spirit. You're missing your power of your spirit. The wisdom and knowledge in those things, really. That's what's missing, and that's the hole you're trying to fill. But he'll never fill it with those things around you. As many things you want to clutter up around you, it'll never do it. These things I give verbatim 2,000 years ago. Has it not come to pass? Yes, every bit of this. And a couple things which are fixing to come up. Man will also lose the basis of the oldest wisdom, which says that for life, man is the measure of all things. For after all, he is part of the creation, one with creation. But time will come for man that he has to turn about and get back to the timeless values of life. In the beginning, only a few persons will know that man does not only live on earth, but that his spirit reaches unto another world, which cannot be comprehended with the ordinary senses. And at this end of generation, there's only so few that actually believe it and know it for a fact. But there were some in the beginning too, keep in mind. We just forgot. That's all it was. There is some hope. The other world is the true home of the Spirit, and therefore it should be tried without ceasing to obtain a broadcasting, deepening wisdom, so the Spirit may be perfected and lifted up into the true home, and so it may become one with the creation. Thus, when man is honest and searches, he shall not know a preconceived opinion, and consequently have no judgment in advance. But the wise man is knowing and aware of the law of the timeless river, of the timeless change. And he therefore endeavors to adjust to the great course of happenings. For he recognizes the law of the creation, and that the circles of existence have to be closed through the destinations of the laws. Wherever life reveals itself, it is based upon the law of the invisible secret, which affects the timeless change. One who disregards the timeless and imperishable laws and truths, and does not recognize them, will have to suffer evil consequences. I mean, if you know better or not, if you're either in ignorance or just choosing to go against the laws, it doesn't matter. You still reap that same reward of it. Lies and hatred will blind such a man, and even entire peoples, and they shall rush into the abyss of their own destruction. A destructive manna will come over them, and among them the heroes will be those who are the greatest destroyers. Or a destructive mania will come over them. And those are the greatest destroyers. The heroes will be those who are the greatest destroyers. What do we call heroes out in the war? Those who kill the most, got the most kills. Really think about that. Why are they called heroes? Those are just mass murderers. But, if you're a terrorist, though, you go kill a bunch of people, that's okay. That's not okay. But if you get called a soldier and do it underneath the government, that's okay. That's different. You're a hero. That's just a label, though. It's a lie. And you convince yourself that you're a hero, but you're not. You're just a killer. But hey, you're fighting for the country, though. Division will permeate the entire life of man. And when there is a split, there is no longer a whole or perfection. United we stand, separated we shall fall. As long as there is incompleteness in life, the consequences will have to be carried by men, which are sickness, misery, injustice, need and fighting, strife and slavery, false cult and exploitation to the blood and death. Thus man shall be aware and wake up. Only that which is timeless and imperishable is of substance, truth, and wisdom. For thus say the laws of the creation. Not too bad for 2,000 years, huh? So be it, and I place mine seal upon these words, that there be no mistake from whence it came. In love and peace I stand by. I await thy petition for understanding, for if you ask and go within, ye shall receive of clarity. I am that I am, Adonai. That'll be it for this one.